Okay, girls, this is revision for our Year 8 Algebra post-test. Okay, question 1. Circle the like terms. Remember, like terms have the same, exactly the same pronumeral or letters. So, which two terms have the same, exactly the same pronumerals? Yes.
2x
and minus 5x. Good.
Negative 5x.
Yep, negative 5x. So those two are the same. Okay, x squared is different because that's x times x. If I had something else here like 6xy, for example, as well, that's different because it's an xy. So those two are the like terms. Okay, question 2, simplify. Now, when you add and subtract, you can only add things that are the same or subtract things that are the same with the same pronumerals. Yes. Question 2a, 5y plus y.
It's 5 times y plus 5.
No, yeah, that does,
So
no.
you just write that and then
No, we've got 5y plus how many y's?
y squared.
No, girls, it's plus.
No, you have
So girls,
5y with 2 on the top.
no, girls, that's for times. This is 5y's. Girls, you know plus means and. So I've got 5y's and 1y.
6y.
Yes, that means 5y plus 1y. Girls, you can only add or subtract like terms. Things that are the same can only be... Girls, that is a plus. 5y plus y means 5y's plus another y. So you can only add and group things that are the same together and add them together. So I've got 5y's and one more y gives me 6y. You're thinking of multiplication, okay? This one's, what about B? Do you want me to do we've got a subtraction over here. So what about this one, 4a times 3?
12a.
Yeah, this is where you multiply through. So 4 times 3 is 12, and then we have a. Okay, so when multiplying, we just multiply all the way through. When you're adding and subtracting, you can only add or subtract together like terms, okay? The next one, see, we're adding and subtracting. We've got 9x take away 3x plus 7. What can we do with that? Any like terms? What can I do? 9x take away 3x. What's that?
It is 6x.
6x take away. 9x take away 3x is 6x. Do I go and add the 7 to it or not?
No.
No, because that's just a normal number 7. You just keep that on its own. Okay? So, again, 5y plus 1y is 6y. When you're multiplying, you just multiply everything through. Okay? When you're adding and subtracting, you can only add, it's like you're adding things up. You can only add things that are the same together. If I've got 5 chocolates and 3 lollies, I can't say I've got 8 chocolates. Does that make sense? So you can only group together and add or subtract things that are the same. If I've got 10 chocolates minus 2 chocolates, I've got 8 chocolates, right?
If you're timing it.
In timesing it, yes, yes. Okay, this one is a time, so what would we get here? 4ab times 3b. So let's multiply the numbers first. 4 times 3 is 12. Oh, how many a's are there? There's only one a there, but b squared. So it's 12ab squared. All good? Now, the next one. You can write it, divide means over. Okay, so it's 20y cubed divided by 4y. Or you can just do it sideways. What's 20 divided by 4?
That's 5.
And now, when they're on top of each other, they can cancel out. See, y to the power of 3 means y cubed means y times y times y. And on the bottom, you've got 1y. So 1y from the bottom cancels with 1 from the top. How many y's are you left with on the top? 2 on the top. Do we get that?
Yeah.
20 divided by 4 is 5. Y cubed divided by y. Because y cubed means y times y times y. So that means y times y times y. I'll just show you what it means. I've got it over here. It means y times y over y. That's what y cubed means. Y cubed divided by y. So y cubed divided by y. What happens? One y cancels from the top and the bottom. The next bit. Solve the following. X plus 9 equals 15. So girls, you can do this by guessing, or remember we're trying to get the x on its own. So we need to move this plus 9 over to the other side. When you move this plus 9 over to the other side, what does it become? 9. So girls, I'm trying to solve and work out what the x is. So I get x is, I don't want this plus 9 here, I'm going to take it to the opposite side. What do I get? What do I write? 15 what? Minus 9. Remember the plus 9, I can take it over to the other side. When I take it over to the opposite side, what the pronumeral or the letter is. So we've got x plus 9 equals 15. We want to work out what x is. So you need to get it on its own. So I don't want this plus 9 here. I need to take that to the other side. When you take it to the opposite side, it becomes the opposite of what it is. On this side, it's a plus 9. When I take it over, it's a minus 9. So what's 15 take away 9? 6. Now you can do it just by guessing and just by looking at it and saying, well, 6 plus 9 is 15, so x has to be 6. The next question, B. We're going to do the same thing here. Y take away 7 equals 3. I want to work out what the y is. What needs to move?
The 7.
The minus 7. Opposite of take away 7 is? No, opposite of take away 7 or minus 7 is? Plus 7. So if I pick up that minus 7 or take away 7 and take it over to the other side, it's 3 plus 7. So therefore y is, what is it? What's 3 plus 7?
10.
10. So girls, let's just see if our answer is correct. If y is 10, what's 10 take away 7? See how it works? So once you've worked out what it is, we think y is 10. You try it. Is 10 take away 7 equal to 3? Yes, it is. In this one, we're trying to work out what x is. So everything else has to be taken, has to move to the other side, away from the x. If x was 6, is 6 plus 9 equal to 15? It is.
Yeah.
Now, here, we're trying to get the m on its own. I'm going to move this one a bit further down. All right, what does this read as? M divided by 5. Now, if I want to get the m on its own, what's the opposite of divided by 5?
How many times?
Yeah, so you keep... So I want to move this divided by 5. What does it become on the other side? What's the opposite of dividing by 5?
Times.
Good. So we get m is 4 times 5, which is 20. Now, let's just check if this makes sense. Is 20 divided by 5 equal to 4?
Yes.
It is. All right, the last type is 3x equals 12. What? There is a sign missing between the 3 and the x. Yes, it is a times. So this means 3 times x is 12.
Which is 4.
Yeah, you can just guess it if you want, which is good. When you get to these simple one steps, I would, as long as you know it means 3 times x is 12, you can guess and do x is 4. But if you want to do it with proper working out, it's x times 3. What's the opposite of times 3? So it would be 12 divided by 3, which is 4. But girls, once you write it as 3 times x is 12, you can guess and just say x is 4. I'm happy for you to do that. All right? To complete the following expansion, when you expand, it's like you're opening something up, making it bigger or something like that. So girls, this 3 outside the brackets means the 3 is multiplied by each of the terms inside the bracket. So it's got to be 3 times p is?
3p.
And I'm going to put the minus here. And what's 3 times 6?
3.
3 times 6. So it's 3 times p is 3p. 3 times 6 is 18. Also, just looking at the signs, that's a normal 3 and a normal p. That's why we've got positive 3p. And this is like a 3 times a minus 6, which is why we've got the minus 18. Okay? So, girls, that's a bit of a guided one. Now you have to expand on your own. So expand, open up, remove the brackets. Expand means to remove the brackets. So, girls, we need to, because the 4 is out the front of the brackets, the 4 needs to be multiplied by each of the terms inside. So girls, let's try this one. So we do 4 times x is 4x. There's a plus in the middle. And 4 times 3 is, so it's 12. So we've got 4 times x is 4x plus 4 times 3 is 12. We okay? I'll just pause so you can write it down. We're expanding, so we have to multiply the term outside by each of those inside. So it's negative 3 times x and the negative 3 times the minus 4. So what have we got? Negative 3 times x. What, positive or negative?
Positive.
A negative times a positive.
Positive.
No. Every time you've got one minus when multiplying, pluses don't change any signs. When you're multiplying, negative 3 times x is negative 3x. But the next one is negative 3 times minus 4.
Oh, okay, yeah, I get it.
Now, with that second one, a minus times a minus, just watching, minus times a minus is a plus. So negative 3 times negative 4 is positive what? Positive, yeah, 3 times 4 is 12. Okay? Now, the last one on this page. Girls, we need to multiply this x again with both of these things. So, girls, x times x. Yes. X times x, we don't write xx, we write x squared. And the x times the minus 5, what do we get? Well, what's 5 times x? What do we put? X times x is x squared. Well, yeah, but it's x times minus 5. Is it going to be a plus or a minus? You're timesing the x with this minus 5. What's it going to be, plus or minus? You can do it two ways. You can do x times x is x squared, then put the minus, and do x times 5 is 5x. Or you can look at it and say, look, that's a normal x and a normal x. The answer will be x squared. It'll be positive. This is x times this 5, but there's a minus in front of that 5. So it's like you're doing a positive times a negative is a negative. Okay, so girls, copy that down. Guys, factorize sounds like the word factor. You have to pull out the factors that are common to both these terms. So if you look at the number 6 and 18, you have to think what number goes into both 6 and 18. Anyone? Or which times tables are 6 and 18 both in? Anyone? They're in the 3s, but are they in the 6s? 6?
Yes.
No, keep counting up by 6s. 6,
6,
12, 18. So girls, 6 and 18 are both in the 6 times tables. So,
6 times 3 equals...
well, no, good, yes, but 6 times what gives me 6x? 6 times what gives me 6x? No, 6 times what gives me 6x? 6 times
3.
x.
Oh, I'm so dumb.
6 times x is 6x.
36.
So girls, factorizing is the reverse of this expanding. So 6x, how did I get it? It was 6 times x is 6x. Now, this 18, you know how we said the 6 times tables are 6, 12, 18? This 18 is 6 times what? So we pulled out a 6, which was in common. So we said 6 times x is 6x. 6 times what is going to give me this? Yeah. So what you do when you factorize it, you check it and go backwards. Let's check. 6 times x is 6x. 6 times that minus 3 is the minus 18. Okay?
Is that the answer?
Yeah, it's 6 bracket x minus 3. Now we need to look at the next one as well and see here we've got numbers and we've got x's. In the other one we had numbers but only one x in the first one. That's why only one number came out. But can you think of the times tables that 4 and 16 both belong to? So I'm going to start, which times tables? We have to think of what number do 4 and 16 both go into. Can we think? Well, 2, but also let's try the 4s. 4, 8, 12, 16. So that means 4 times what is 16?
4 times 4 is 16.
Good. So girls, what I've got is 4x squared minus 16x, or 4x squared minus 4 times 4 times x. So what do you think is in common? A number that's in common between the, what number goes into 4 and 16? What number goes into both of them? Anyone? 4. Because what about, are there x's in both of these or not? X squared means x times x. This one's just an x. What else is in common between these two? Yeah, there's an x. So I've got a 4 that will go into this and that, and an x also is in common between that and that. So when I pull out the 4x, I need to make 4x squared. What's missing to make 4x squared? 4x times another x. 4x times x is 4x squared. All right, I need to now get minus 16x. But I've got 4x times something. So girls, I pulled out the 4. What's left over?
4.
Yeah, another 4. Am I going to put plus or minus? What should I put here?
Minus.
Let's have a look. 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times minus 4 is minus 16x. See, you have to say, I've got 4x. How am I going to make it into the minus 16x? I need to times it by another 4 and by a negative. 4x times minus 4 is minus 16x. Once you think of an answer over here, you check it. You do 4x times x is 4x squared. 4x times minus 4 is minus 16x to check it. Now it says if a is 2, this is question 7. If a is 2 and b is negative 3, evaluate. Evaluate means work this out. A plus b. Well, what does a equal, girls? What does the a equal? 2. If a is 2, so I replace the a with the 2, then I write plus, what's b?
3. Negative 3.
Negative 3. So girls, I've got 2 plus negative 3. You know when I see a plus and a minus next to each other? That looks a bit strange. You can change two signs that are sitting next to each other into the one sign. Now, positive signs don't change anything. So the plus minus is the same as a plus or the same as a minus, do you think?
Minus.
Yeah, girls, because pluses don't change anything. So that 2 plus negative 3 is the same as doing 2 take away 3. Now, if I'm on the second floor of a building, that's plus 2. And I go down 3 floors, where do I end up? Below the ground or not? If I'm on floor 2, how do I know I'm on floor 2? It's a positive 2. If I've got 2 lollies and I'm trying to take away 3. Girls, do you go into the negatives? If you've got 2 and you're taking away 3. I've got 2 and I'm taking away 3. Or I'm on the second floor of a building and I'm taking away 3. Well, I go down to the first floor, go down to 0. The next floor down is minus 1. So I'm on the second floor, I go down 2. 1, 2, and I go down 1 more, 3. I ended up at negative 1. So girls, you'll know, if you've got 2 and you're taking away 3, you're going below 0. And you're going 1 below 0.
When you go below 0,
it becomes a negative. Yeah. When you've got no more to take away, that's when you end up with negatives. Okay, the next question is, if A is 2 and B is negative 3, evaluate AB. Now, AB means A what? Plus B, minus B, divide by B, times B. Girls, what is the only symbol in algebra that they're allowed to miss out? If it's a plus, you'll see it. If it's a minus, you'll see it. It's the times. So AB means A times B. So girls, this means A times B. So what's A, girls? What's A? 2. What's B?
3.
Negative 3. So what's 2 times negative 3? Well, what's a normal 2 times 3?
6.
So 2 times negative 3
Negative 6.
Yeah, a positive times a negative is a negative. You would never put the same answer as a normal 2 times 3. Now, but if you had negative 2 times negative 3, the two negatives make a positive. All right? One negative is a negative when multiplying. Okay, now, question 8. I'm just going to do up my own little table. X, I'm going to do minus 2x minus 3. And we're just completing this. Complete. Just going to do a few values if x is negative 1, and I might do if x is 20.
How many questions are there?
Oh, a lot. Question 8. It says complete this table. It's called a table of values. Now, the way it works, it'll look like this. And the top row says if x is negative 1, you have to find what's on the bottom row, negative 2x minus 3. Does anyone know what we do? I'm just going to pause. Girls, I'm doing this figure of values. We've got x values at the top, and you have to work out the value of this minus 2x minus 3. So, girls, minus 2, this is telling me now if x is negative 1, work this out. So I'm going to write minus 2x minus 3. Girls, what symbol is between the minus 2 and the x? What symbol?
Plus.
No.
X.
No. Minus 2 is a plus x times x.
A negative and negative is a positive. So
Yes, it is. But girls, minus 2x minus 3 means negative 2 what? Plus x or times x or minus x or divide by x? Times x minus 3. This is what that means. Now, in the first, minus 2x minus 3 means minus 2 times x, take away 3. Girls, now, with the first one, we have to substitute x is negative 1. So what do? Minus 2 times, I put negative 1 in, times minus 1, or negative 1, take away 3. Girls, so girls, a negative, so girls, what happens here when I see this x, I have to put that negative 1 in. But it means negative 2 times negative 1. Girls, what's negative 2 times negative 1? What's a negative times a negative? So it's positive 2. So all of that's positive 2, take away 3. Because we did this before. 2 fingers, take away 3 fingers. Or 2 lollies, take away 3 lollies. Sorry, 2 minus 3. 2, second floor, go down 3 floors. Where do you end up?
Negative
2. 2, take away 3. 1, 2. How many down do I go?
1.
So the answer to that, is negative 1. So 2 take away 3, this answer is negative 1. Now I have to do it with 20. So I've got minus 2x minus 3. That really means minus 2 times x, take away 3. Now with this second one, I have to substitute x is 20. So what do? What do I write? Minus 2 times, what's x this time? What's x?
Times.
Whatever x is. What's x going to be now? 20. Times 20. Take away 3. Girls, you know you can use your calculator. All right, you can. Girls, well, negative 2. So that's a negative 2.
That doesn't work. I've got to buy a new one now.
No, negative 2 times 20. All right, what's 2 times 20, girls? 2 times 20. Or 20. All right, but negative 2 times 20 is negative 40. Take away 3. Now, what that means is I'm going down 40 and down another 3. How far have I gone down?
30.
Girls, I've gone down 40 and down another 3. How far have I gone down?
Negative 30.
Down 40 and down 3. How far have I gone down?
Negative 37.
Now, girls, if I walk down 2 steps and walk down another 3 steps, how many steps have I walked down? 5. If I walk down 40 and I walk down 3, I walk down how many? 43 down.
Oh, I said it right.
I walk down 40 and I go down another 3. I've gone down 43. So, girls, when you've just got positives and negatives
Wait,
in your...
negative 43.
Yeah. Minus 40 means I'm going down 40 and down, and minus 3 means I'm going down another 3. So I've gone down 43. Okay,
so
girls?
Can we quickly do question 9?
Yes?
We've only got